Good morning, America, for our viewers in the West. Escalating tensions in Los Angeles. And just back from Paris, Coco Gauff, here live in Times Square. Chaos in the streets of Los Angeles after immigration authorities conducted a series of sweeps and President Trump deployed 2,000 National Guardsmen, now threatening to send in hundreds of Marines, as California Governor Newsom accuses the president of inflaming tensions, demonstrators blocking the highway, lighting cars on fire, police using flashbangs to break up the crowds. Our Matt Gutman is live on the scene. All this as the president's new travel ban went into effect at midnight.
President Trump's warning for Elon Musk if the billionaire backs Democrats after their feud over Trump's massive spending bill erupted.
Skydiving plane crash. The investigation after it plunged to the ground carrying 20 people and how everyone on board remarkably survived.
Devil in the Ozarks caught. How authorities finally captured the former Arkansas police chief and convicted killer who escaped from prison.
Sean Diddy Combs demanding a mistrial. His attorneys accusing federal prosecutors of knowingly introducing false testimony from the friend of Cassie Ventura who accused him of dangling her over a balcony.
Skincare craze investigation. The new warnings about products made for adults and kids as young as 7 use them. How they could do more harm than good and cost parents a lot of money. We're going to begin, though, with that escalating tension in Los Angeles after protesters against federal immigration raids clashed with law enforcement over the weekend, setting vehicles on fire. California National Guard troops were moved in at the order of President Trump. This is the first time since 1965 that a president has ordered troops in over the objections of the governor. He did it on his own authority. California Governor Newsom condemned the action as inflammatory, called on the administration to rescind it, said they were manufacturing a crisis.
And our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, is standing by with the latest on the administration's response to the protests. But first, our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, is on the scene in L.A. And Matt, you and your team, you were with the protesters all day yesterday. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Michael. And this is what the civic area of downtown Los Angeles looks like this morning. You can see those 2 burnt out Waymo autonomous vehicles behind me. 3 more here, protesters torching these. You can see all the debris, the glass on the ground, graffiti on the walls, and there are multiple police checkpoints all over downtown Los Angeles. You can probably see those police lights twinkling in the background. Hundreds of protesters descending on the 101 freeway just behind me, and those clashes ending just a few hours ago. Overnight, chaos erupting in the streets of Los Angeles as protesters and police clashed. Tensions escalating Sunday as thousands of protesters took to the streets in response to President Donald Trump's extraordinary deployment of the California National Guard. Governor Gavin Newsom saying it was assistance he didn't ask for.
We are here to support local law enforcement, the sheriff's office, LAPD, but they didn't need that support. He made this up. This is a manufactured crisis.
Multiple vehicles set on fire, covered in graffiti condemning ICE. An electric scooter thrown from an overpass, damaging a highway patrol vehicle, which was then set on fire. Many hundreds descending on the 101 freeway, blocking traffic in both directions. CHP, California Highway Patrol, deployed smoke. They're moving in, trying to push these protesters out. You can see some projectiles detaining someone there. The LAPD mobilizing resources and LA's mayor pleading for calm.
Our city does not need to be torn apart.
Earlier Sunday, demonstrators swarming LA's federal building, hundreds of LAPD officers responding. And in the ensuing clashes, the LAPD says multiple officers were injured when 2 people on motorcycles tried to crash through that police line. We were right there as it happened.
Just moments ago, there's some projectiles being thrown. Just moments ago, a motorcycle seemed to try to break through the police skirmish line. And now you can hear all those flashbangs going off. Police are trying to push those protesters back, firing those less than lethals at very close range. And you can see those projectiles being thrown over. Now that motorcyclist being hauled in here, looks like he's being arrested.
Police deploying flashbangs. The streets littered with debris and broken glass. At this point, more than 25 demonstrators arrested after failing to disperse. The escalation began Friday when federal immigration authorities began a series of sweeps in greater Los Angeles, arresting more than 100 people. The demonstration's now entering day 4. Hundreds of National Guard troops were deployed on the streets of LA over the weekend. President Trump bypassing California's governor, ordering up to 2,000 guardsmen to deploy across Southern California. On Saturday in Paramount, just south of Los Angeles, thick black smoke filling the sky after cars were set on fire. The anger coming after reports of an immigration raid on the community, but Paramount Mayor Peggy Lemon saying there was not a raid. The agents were there staging. And in a rare scene Saturday afternoon, a Black Hawk helicopter landing in the parking lot of a Homeland Security office, agents unloading supplies for federal law enforcement. California Governor Gavin Newsom calling on the Trump administration to revoke the order to deploy the California National Guard, saying it only makes matters worse. A memo signed by all the Democratic governors says the activation of guardsmen in their own borders without consulting or working with the state's governor is ineffective and dangerous. But President Trump now saying even active duty Marines could be deployed as 500 remain on standby.
What is the bar for sending Marines to
the bar is what I think it is. I mean, if we see danger to our country and to our citizens, we'll be very, very strong in terms of law and order.
So how rare actually is it for a president to bypass the governor of a state and deploy National Guards? Well, it hasn't happened since 1965. That's 60 years. And Governor Newsom saying that he did actually speak to President Trump on Friday, but Trump did not mention that he would be deploying California National Guard. And now Governor Newsom is calling President Trump a stone-cold liar. He's also saying that today Newsom intends to file suit against the Trump administration for acts that Newsom is saying are immoral and unconstitutional. George.
And Matt, and President Johnson in 1965, when he did that, was actually moving in National Guard troops to protect civil rights protesters. Let's get more on the White House response. Good morning, Mary.
George, good morning. This is a remarkable and unprecedented escalation. The president bypassing the governor to call up the National Guard. Now, Trump has long showed a willingness and even eagerness to use armed forces to try and shut down protests. And in this instance, he's using it to highlight an issue that is central to his agenda and taking on a political rival in a blue state, going after Governor Newsom, who again did not ask for this, says he does not want this. Newsom says Trump is seeking a, quote, spectacle to further his own political goals, calling it, as you mentioned, a, quote, manufactured crisis. Now, right now, Trump is relying on an unorthodox use of a law aimed at quelling rebellion. These troops, as of now, cannot be directly involved and assist with law enforcement unless the president invokes the Insurrection Act. That is something he has stopped short of doing, but overnight he did label the demonstrators insurrectionists. Now, Trump has made clear he is willing to escalate this response even further, raising that possibility of sending in active duty Marines, which Newsom has said would be, quote, deranged. The administration is also suggesting they may arrest public officials who interfere with immigration enforcement activities. And George, there are signs Trump is prepared to send troops into other cities to try and quell protests if he feels it's necessary.
And Mary, on another front, the Salvadoran man who was mistakenly sent to El Salvador has been returned to the United States.
Yeah, George, Kilmar Abrego Garcia is now back in U.S. soil. He's been charged in a federal criminal indictment for alleged human trafficking of undocumented migrants. For weeks, of course, despite an order from the Supreme Court to facilitate his return, the Trump administration argued their hands were tied. The president now says it wasn't his decision to bring him back, but he has said that this is a, quote, very easy case. George.
Mary Bruce, thanks very much. Michael.
All right, thank you, George. Now to the latest on the public feud between President Trump and Elon Musk, which began as a dispute over the president's big budget bill and then escalated to insults and threats. Let's go to our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott. And Rachel, you spoke with the president over the weekend?
Yeah, Michael, I did. And the president made it clear at this point there are no signs that he wants to continue this relationship with Elon Musk. He told me this weekend he has no plans to speak with the billionaire after portraying him as someone who lost his mind and has a problem. The president attending the UFC championship in New Jersey this weekend without Musk, who would typically be sitting right next to him ringside. The public feud, which initially started over Trump's signature spending bill, quickly turned personal, with Musk even trying to tie the president to convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein without providing any evidence. Musk has since deleted those posts and is now striking a different tune, resharing the president's social media posts about the protests in Los Angeles. But the president issuing a threat to Musk that he would face serious consequences if he funds Democratic candidates. Musk, of course, spent $200 million of his own money to help get President Trump and other Republicans elected. Robin.
All right. Our thanks to you, Rachel. Now, the severe weather threat after more than 204 damaging storm reports from Texas to Virginia. You know, Ginger is tracking the latest for us right now.
Yeah, 240 was just the last 24 hours, Robin, but in the last 3 days, we've had more than 750 severe storm reports. Just yesterday afternoon, this is Batavia, Illinois, west of Chicago. Those trees taken down by straight line winds, put into homes. Grenville, New Mexico, New Mexico, had that hail flying. Up to softball-sized hail was seen in Texas, and those skies lit up by the lightning in Weatherford. Now, today, we've got a really large area. Unfortunately, a lot of the places that were hit in even the last 24 hours, including, look at Virginia, South Carolina, the low country there. Robin, we're watching this system come through Pittsburgh, just west of you, by tonight, dinner time-ish, and then into Georgia, Alabama. And through tonight, we're going to be watching this giant area all the way through tomorrow night, early morning.
I know. Got to keep an eye on it for us. All right, Ginger, thanks. Overseas now, though, to breaking news overnight. Russia firing a record number of missiles and drones at Ukraine. Our chief global affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz, is there for us. And Martha, just tell us the latest right now. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Robin. There have been already 90,000 lives lost here in Ukraine, the picture of many of those behind me. And this week we have seen Ukraine pounded by Russia, setting records in this very year. But last night was a new record, nearly 500 drones and missiles launched all across Ukraine, the highest number in this entire war. Ukraine says the large majority of those were shot down or intercepted. Most were in the western part of the country, where we are now, targeting a military airfield right near here. At least one person was killed and nearly a dozen injured. Last night, we were in Kyiv. Citizens had been warned there might be massive attacks. We spent the entire night in a bomb shelter. Of course, this comes in retaliation for the unprecedented Ukrainian drone strikes on Russian bombers. So this war is far from over. George?
That is so clear. Okay, Martha, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to the Sean Combs trial. His defense attorneys asked the judge to declare a mistrial in a late-night filing alleging prosecutorial misconduct. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky at the courthouse. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, George. Federal prosecutors, according to the defense, knowingly introduced false testimony that Sean Combs dangled a woman from a 17th floor balcony. It was Brianna Bongolan, a friend of Cassie Ventura, who told the jury that he lifted me up, then put me on top of the rail before throwing her onto furniture. The jury saw photos of a large bruise and her bandaged back. Combs denied it happened, and the defense argued hotel receipts show he was in New York at the time. The judge, though, is unlikely to grant the mistrial, and a fifth week of testimony is going to begin here this morning with Combs' ex-girlfriend, known by the pseudonym Jane, back on the witness stand. She's already tearfully told the jury grueling details of degrading sex with male prostitutes and how she feared if she stopped, Combs would stop paying her rent. Combs denies it all, says all the sex was consensual. And guys, Jane is expected to be on the witness stand for most of the week. Michael?
All right, Aaron, thank you for that. We're going to turn now to the investigation. In Tennessee, after a skydiving plane crashed Sunday afternoon with 20 people on board. Faith Abube is on the scene in Tennessee with the latest for us. Good morning, Faith.
Yeah, good morning to you, Michael. Multiple victims were treated right here at the scene. A couple of them were rushed by helicopter to the hospital. Take a look this morning behind me. You can see what's left of that plane as investigators dig for answers as to what happened.
This morning, a federal investigation underway after a skydiving plane carrying 20 people plunged to the ground in Tennessee, about 60 miles south of Nashville.
It literally clipped a tree and crashed, hit a tree, spun, and crashed into the side of their property.
Flight trackers showing the 58-year-old plane circling the Tullahoma Regional Airport several times just before the crash.
Shortly after takeoff, the plane experienced an unknown issue that resulted in the impact with both the trees and terrain.
The frightening incident happened just before 1 p.m. Sunday. Video showing the plane's mangled nose smashed, the tail snapped off, debris scattered across the field about 1,000 feet from the end of a runway. Remarkably, officials saying everyone on board survived.
3 people were then life-flighted to one of the area Nashville hospitals for additional care. 4 of those on the plane have been sent to our local hospital for treatment as well.
A skydiving instructor who was on the plane writing on Facebook, quote, "I got lucky and came out without a scratch."
And George, the NTSB is leading this investigation. It could take weeks before we get some answers. George.
Boy, a lot of people there did get lucky. Okay, Faith, thanks very much. Let's switch gears now to the NBA Finals. Series now tied. Thunder bounced back in Game 2 against the Pacers. Will Reeve is in Oklahoma City. Good morning, Will.
Good morning to you, George. For the first time since June 12th, 2012, the Oklahoma City Thunder have won an NBA Finals game. It was a masterpiece from the MVP. The bench players stepped up. This crowd was almost impossibly amped up. And now the finals are tied up at 1.
Jalen Williams, a fan favorite, knocks down a three.
Overnight, the NBA Finals are all tied up. The Oklahoma City Thunder, after losing that stunner at home in Game 1, blowing out the Indiana Pacers 123-107 to tie the series at 1 game apiece.
SGA on the drive, pulls back, jump shot, got it.
The Thunder led by 34 points from league MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Gilgeous-Alexander jumper, got it.
But OKC was more than just SGA, featuring a balanced attack, 5 players scoring over 15 points.
Caruso, three-pointer, puts it in.
Bench players Alex Caruso and Aaron Wiggins combining for 38.
There's nothing like a crossover that can make your feet go one way and your soul go another.
The electric Thunder crowd loving every minute. SGA knew his team, backed by that home crowd, would meet the moment.
Gilgeous-Alexander for 3.
Besides the energy that comes so naturally in this building, especially in a desperate game, you just try to find a way to get better.
So now the series heads back to Indianapolis for Game 3. That is Wednesday night on ABC, guys.
We'll be tuning in. Okay, Will, and coming up, fresh off her fantastic French Open win, Coco Gauff is going to be here live.
Also ahead, the major new egg recall, how this new issue could impact prices and availability.
And breaking at 8, what we're learning about the capture of the former Arkansas police chief who was on the run for nearly 2 weeks.
Coming up, our GMA Summer Concert Series announcement. You don't want to miss it.
That's out! Coco!
Back here on GMA, the winning moment for Coco Gauff, claiming the French Open, her second Grand Slam title. There's her mom in the stands. And Coco she was rolling all around in that red clay to celebrate the victory. And she is here live to tell us all about it. And that is just ahead, and cannot wait to speak with you live, Coco, in just a moment.
A lot of excitement here in the studio for that. First new at 7:30. Overnight, a boat loaded with humanitarian aid for Gaza was stopped by Israeli forces, diverted to Israel. Activist Greta Thunberg is among those on board. Israel says the aid on the ship will be sent to Gaza through established channels. Organizers of the shipment say the activists have been kidnapped. Also, President Trump's new travel ban went into effect at midnight, barring travel to the U.S. from 12 countries, mostly in Africa and the Middle East. It also partially restricts travel from 7 other countries. It does not revoke visas previously issued from people to countries on the list.
And in a historic French Open final, Carlos Alcaraz beat top seed Yannick Sinner. The match lasted nearly 5.5 hours. It's the longest French Open final ever, and the second longest Grand Slam final. Alcaraz came from 2 sets down and fended off 3 match points to win his second straight title at Roland Garros. And now, as Muhammad Ali would say, the champ is here!
We're joined by the new women's French Open champion, the incredible Coco Gauff, earning her second Grand Slam title at the age of 21, becoming the first American in a decade to claim this championship. Please welcome here to our Times Square studio, Coco Gauff, ladies and gentlemen. And the crowd goes wild. I told you this is a perfect bookend because this is our last week in the studio. And our first week, we had Serena after her first victory at the U.S. Open. And we have you here now, Coco. Have you been able to allow it to sink in a bit?
Not really. I've been on the go since everything happened after match point, but definitely I'm going to take it in over the next couple of weeks for sure.
I'm glad that you will. And I loved how your dad, because you had a little red clay on you, and your dad made sure you had that off of you before you went down for the trophy presentation. But a lot of us were watching, and to see the first set, you're down 1-4, you lose it in a tie break, storm back to win the next 2 like that. It was reminiscent of your final against Sabalenka at the U.S. Open a couple of years ago, where you had to come from behind again. Just tell us your mindset and how you're able to fight back time and time again.
Yeah, so in that first set, when I was down 4-1, I was just like, let me just try to make it as competitive. And, you know, I honestly didn't expect to be in the position to even try to win that set, but I was just like, I got to make it as competitive as possible. And actually earlier in that week in my quarterfinal match against Madison, I was down 4-1 double break as well, and I was able to bring it back. So I had thought about that match. But after I lost that tiebreaker, I was so disappointed, but I knew I had to reset and just try my best to give the best possible chance for me to go out there and win that match.
Yeah, I heard you said that your dad said before the match, he was talking to you and said, just give yourself an opportunity. Just keep giving yourself an opportunity. Your mom said the same thing. Don't have to tell you, there was a lot of criticism. Your opponent, Sabalenka, her comments right after the match, pretty much saying it was because she played poorly instead of praising your play, because you're both playing in windy conditions. You're both facing that. And you've played her several times, and she did walk it back a bit the next day and did give you credit and said you played with a lot of purpose and poise. You've played her several times. Just what was your take on the comments that she made?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I know she was probably a bit emotional after that match, and it was a tough loss. But honestly, when I stepped on the court, I was aware of the win. We both practiced with the roof closed, so I honestly wanted the roof to be closed before the match because my quarterfinal in Simeon was closed, and I thought I was playing good tennis. But when I found out it was open, I saw how windy it was on the court. I knew that it was going to be an ugly win. And yeah, whenever you play in windy conditions, if you play tennis, you know it's not going to be a perfect day on a windy court. So I knew that going in. And yeah, I mean, after that, I was a little bit surprised, but about the comments and everything. But like, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure it's just an emotional day, emotional match. And yeah, every time I play Irina, she's a fighter. She's a tough opponent. I think we're like 6-5 on the head-to-head, so it's very close. But yeah, I think, you know, I had to force her to play that way and make a lot of balls and put those balls in the court. So yeah.
Oh, well, very proud of how you handled it with such grace. And I follow you on Instagram like many do, and you're so uplifting. And there was something that you said, I learned having doubt into your head is impossible to escape, but not impossible to overcome. And those pictures that you put up, like you manifested. Let's just talk about your mental state and how that helped you so much.
Yeah, honestly, the first like dream thing I had, I never dreamt about winning a tournament before in my life, and I still haven't, and that was the only time I had a dream about winning one. And so I just always thought that this tournament like just had to happen. I thought this would be my first Grand Slam after having that dream. And then with the visualization, I saw Gabby Thomas write it before she won the Olympics, and I was like, I was a ball of nerves the night before, and I was just desperate. And I was like, I'm gonna just try everything I can do. So I wrote it down and instilled it in my head. It was one of the last things I said to myself before I went on the court. I looked in the mirror, and even after that first set, I said, I will be French Open champion. I will do this. I can do this. And just instilling it, you kind of have to psych yourself out.
And weren't you even saying your own name? Because the French crowd, they were saying Sabalenka's name, and I could see you mouthing like you were saying your own name.
Yeah, I was just saying my name, especially in that semifinal match against Luis. I was playing a French opponent too, so I was just saying my name. And actually, when in Rome, I played Jasmine Paolini, and she's Italian, playing an Italian crowd, and I felt like I didn't handle that well. So it's crazy how those hard losses. I needed those losses to have the experience and be able to overcome what happened this week.
Yeah, because you even posted that on your Instagram.
Yes.
The loss for a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And then the win. And you said, I needed that defeat.
Yes.
I needed that defeat. So how important was that to you? I mean, what did you learn from that defeat?
Yeah, I learned a lot. I went in that match believing that I couldn't do it, and also I felt like I was playing the #1 player in the world at the time, Iga, again, and so I just felt like I just couldn't do it, and I kind of played like that. And so this match, I was like, I have to be able to do it. Obviously, Irina was the favorite to win that, but I was just like, I can't count myself out. I'm #2 for a reason. I can do well. And yeah, I just learned it, and I remember watching the trophy ceremony with Iga, taking in all the emotions, allowing myself to feel that disappointment, and just trying to use it as motivation.
Yeah, because when I first met you down in Delray, that Coco Gauff, she really had no fear.
No fear.
I know, and you even talked about that self.
Yes.
About like you had to even talk to your younger self and said you didn't have that. You have such great support. I know you saw your grandmother.
Yes.
All these videos were going crazy. And the way that the ball kids, they hugged you, but the support that you have had from day one, from the Delray community. I love those ball boys.
Yeah,
and
they're
ball
the
girls.
best.
They were so happy.
Yes.
And again, your mom and your dad have been there from day one, and they're here in the studio with us. With your brother, who just had a recent birthday.
Yes.
I can't believe how much he's grown.
Yeah.
Just talk about the support. Talk about what that has meant to you.
The support that I have is amazing, and especially my parents, for them to sacrifice so much and come on the road, and my brothers sacrificing time with their parents because they be there for me in those big moments, and being so understanding means the world, and I truly can't do it without them. Tennis is a lonely sport at times, spending weeks in different countries. Sometimes you don't wake up and know where you are, but every night we're playing a card game, Crowns, and we play 8 games, and my dad lost every single game. Yeah, and it's a game of luck too, so I didn't know how that happened, but every time I won, I felt like, okay, if I won the card games, maybe I'll win my match tomorrow. But just having that support, and my brothers are the reason why I do it, and Cody always reminds me of the belief and kind of having that cockiness a little bit to you, and Cameron always reminds me to just be joyful in the things I do. So I truly learn a lot from everyone around me.
Are you going to be able to take some time? You know the next Grand Slam is just a few weeks away, but are you going to take some time?
For sure. I think the main piece of advice everyone's told me is to take it in and soak it in, and then when it's time to get back to work. But I'm always looking ahead, so I am ready to get back and start training for Wimbledon and try to pull that off. But yeah, for now, I'm definitely trying to soak it in.
And soak in that little. Is that really the little trophy?
Yeah, it is. It is a small little replica we get to take home. But I said that on my TikToks that the memories are what matter the most.
That's right. You can fill that up with a lot of memories.
Yes.
Thank you for being here, especially
Thanks
in our final week. It's just a perfect way for us to say goodbye to Times Square.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks
for
having me.
Thank you, and thank your folks as well.
Major egg recall after a salmonella outbreak sickened dozens of people across multiple states. Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis here with the details. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, George. Hey, guys. And this is an important warning, especially at breakfast time. The California-based August Egg Company is recalling 1.7 million brown organic and brown cage-free eggs distributed across 9 different states. The eggs are linked to a salmonella outbreak that sickened 79 people. 21 of them have been hospitalized, but thankfully no deaths have been reported there. The eggs were distributed between February 3rd and May 15th this year, with sell-by dates from March 4th, 2025 to June 4, 2025 at locations including Save Mart, Food Max, Raley's, Ralph's, and Safeway. They were also distributed with sell-by dates from March 4 to June 19 to Walmart stores in Arizona, California, Illinois, Indiana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, Washington, and Wyoming. And you can check the CDC website for a full list. Remember, salmonella can be a severe illness for children under 5 and seniors 65 and over. Symptoms there include fever, stomach cramps, diarrhea. Usually they start between 6 hours and 6 days after exposure. The illness lasts 4 to 7 days. Most people recover without treatment. The bottom line here, guys, is you don't want to eat them. Clean up surfaces if they've been on them, and you can return them to the stores as well.
What does this mean for prices?
So prices have come down a lot, George, recently. The cost right now of a dozen eggs is about $2.63, and over the last month, they've come down 22%. And the good news here is 1.7 million, almost 2 million eggs is relatively small compared to the total eggs we produce, 93 billion.
Wow.
So it shouldn't drive prices much higher unless it gets to be a bigger recall.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Now with our play of the day, the countdown to our big move. 1 week from this morning, we'll be live from our brand new studio in downtown Manhattan. Here's a look at our new neighborhood. In 1 week,
we're new to the neighborhood, so trying to get the vibe here.
GMA is on the move to its new home downtown.
We're moving our studios in right down at Hudson Square.
Oh, that's odd. You must be myself on mute.
And we're saying good morning to our new neighbors.
We're your new neighbors. Nice to meet you.
The food.
There's a cookie shop.
Just a light lunch.
You ordered all this?
The history.
The dock used to be here and the river was right there.
We're seeing it by land.
Come with me. I'm about to get a personal training sesh.
Up and down.
By sea.
What are you doing here?
I'm just figuring out my new commute to the studio.
In your suit, in a kayak.
And by air.
Woo! Go Gio!
My heart is still racing. Feel my heart.
Oh my God!
And wait till you see what we do at the world's most recognizable firehouse.
Can I go down the pole?
You better get moving.
We're on the move to a new neighborhood, a new home, and a whole new beginning.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to the neighborhood. Good morning, America.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Great to have you here.
It's all happening Monday, only on
Good morning, America. Woo!
You should see upstairs the boxes. We're all packing up.
I know.
Can't believe it. Final week here.
Almost 26 years we've been here.
A lot of memories, and you're going to see them all because get ready. In our next hour, we will look back, for better or worse, at our first days here in Times Square studio. Stay with us.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Chaos in the streets of Los Angeles after immigration authorities conducted a series of sweeps and President Trump deployed 2,000 National Guardsmen, now threatening to send in hundreds of Marines, as California Governor Newsom accuses him of inflaming tensions. Our Matt Gutman is live on the scene.
The new warning about the tween skincare craze.
I'm gonna do a morning routine.
An investigation finding routines in kids as young as 7 may be causing more harm than good, using products made for adults that could irritate adolescent skin and cost parents a lot of money.
We're taking it step by step as we get ready to say goodbye to Times Square, our home of more than 25 years.
It does feel like the first day of school around here, doesn't it?
We're remembering our first days here and the magic behind the scenes. Now we're gearing up for our big move.
I'm just figuring out my new commute to the studio.
As we say,
Good morning, America. Woo!
Live from Times Square, it's Monday. Good morning, America.
We certainly do say good morning, America. Very busy morning here in Times Square as we say goodbye to this fabulous, fabulous studio before we move downtown. But you know what? We're going to still have a summer concert, and we're going to reel the lineup coming up.
Also ahead, Tori Johnson is here with deals and steals on summer accessories. There she is. With savings from head to toe starting at just $7.
first look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with those escalating tensions in Los Angeles after protesters against federal immigration raids clashed with law enforcement over the weekend, setting vehicles on fire. California National Guard troops were moved in at the order of President Trump over the objections of California Governor Gavin Newsom, who called the actions inflammatory, said the president was manufacturing a crisis, called on the administration to rescind it. I want to go back to our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, George. This is what the civic area in the nation's second largest city looks like this morning. There is a row of 5 Waymo self-driving vehicles torched by those protesters. You can see row upon row of police barricades behind me. That goes on. There is debris on the ground, graffiti on the walls, and those clashes just ended a few hours ago.
Overnight chaos erupting in the streets of Los Angeles as protesters and police clashed. Tensions escalating Sunday as thousands of protesters took to the streets in response to President Donald Trump's extraordinary deployment of the California National Guard. Governor Gavin Newsom saying it was assistance he didn't ask for.
We are here to support local law enforcement, the sheriff's office, LAPD, but they didn't need that support. He made this up. This is a manufactured crisis.
Multiple vehicles set on fire, many hundreds descending on the 101 freeway, blocking traffic in both directions.
CHP, California Highway Patrol, deployed smoke. They're moving in, trying to push these protesters out. You can see some projectiles detaining someone there.
Earlier Sunday, demonstrators swarming LA's federal building, hundreds of LAPD officers responding. And in the ensuing clashes, the LAPD says multiple officers were injured when 2 people on motorcycles tried to crash through that police line. We were right there as it happened.
Just moments ago, there's some projectiles being thrown. Just moments ago, a motorcycle seemed to try to break through the police skirmish line. Now that motorcycle is being hauled in here. Looks like he's being arrested.
Police deploying flashbangs. At this point, more than 25 demonstrators arrested after failing to disperse. The escalation began Friday when federal immigration authorities began a series of sweeps in greater Los Angeles, arresting more than 100 people.
And Governor Newsom now accusing President Trump of trying to sow chaos in California, chaos that Newsom now has to clean up. And Newsom said he spoke to the president Friday night. The president, he said, did not mention sending in the National Guard, something that Newsom is now saying is immoral and unconstitutional. He says he's going to file a lawsuit against the Trump administration today. Michael.
All right there, Matt. Thank you so much for that. And we're going to turn now to the former Arkansas police chief serving time for murder. Well, he's now back behind bars this morning, nearly 2 weeks after escaping from prison. Eva Pilgrim is here with how the manhunt ended. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Michael. That former Arkansas police chief who escaped prison back behind bars, tracking dogs picked up Grant Hardin's scent about a mile and a half west of the prison where he had been. You can see he was picked up in a wooded area near a creek. Police had previously looked in the area, but high waters from recent rains limited the search. He'd been on the run for nearly 2 weeks. Hardin, dressed in a makeshift law enforcement uniform, was able to break out walking out of a secure door. The 56-year-old, known as the Devil in the Ozarks for his crimes, previously was the police chief in Gateway, Arkansas. He's currently serving a 30-year sentence for murder and 2 25-year sentences for rape. Because of this escape, Hardin was transferred to a supermax prison in Arkansas, which he will call home from now on, guys.
Wow. We're relieved that he's back behind bars.
A lot of people are
All
relieved.
right, Eva, thank you. Now we have the severe weather threat after more than 240 damaging storm reports from Texas to Virginia. Let's go back to Ginger, who's tracking the latest. Ginger?
Hey, Robin. So we had Batavia, Illinois, where one of the damaging wind reports came through, and the damage is evident. The trees down thanks to straight line winds, easily 65 plus miles per hour. You had lightning lighting up the skies in Weatherford, Texas. You had even tornado reports in Virginia. So in the last 24 hours, it's been more than 240. But since Friday, it was 750 plus severe storm reports. And today we're going to add even more to those numbers. The area that's going to see it anywhere from Pittsburgh down to Knoxville. We stopped the clock there at 7 p.m. Birmingham, Alabama, through Georgia and the low country of South Carolina. So Charleston up to Myrtle Beach, all included. Charlotte, you're in there too. Damaging wind is the main threat today, Michael, but we could see some hail or even some twisting tornadoes inside those lines.
Yeah, a lot going on. And Ginger, thank you so much. Coming up in our GMA morning menu, the new report on the tween skincare trend saying that the routines might be harmful.
Also had the loneliness epidemic, how it's different for men and women, the warning signs, and how you can get help.
Plus, we're announcing our GMA Summer Concert Series. Some of your favorite performers. We're going to reveal that in Pop News. And Larry, you've got Lori upstairs.
I do, George. Yeah, Lori B has been checking out Hair Talk. These are products seen on social media. We're going to tell you if they're worth it. Are they worth the hype? She's got all the answers. Lori B to the rescue coming up on Good Morning America.
We're back now with our GMA cover story, a new warning about the skincare obsession among preteens on social media. New research finds that girls as young as 7 are sharing their skincare routines. Rebecca Jarvis is back with the details on this story. Important story here, Rebecca.
It is an important story, Michael. A lot of parents are talking about this. A lot of our staff is talking about this. Even if your girls aren't on social media, the social pressure is real, and so are the costs. Take a look.
I'm going to be doing my morning skincare routine.
This morning, a new investigation finding tween skincare routines may be causing more harm to skin and parents' bank accounts than good. Researchers from Northwestern University creating TikTok accounts, pretending to be 13-year-olds and reviewing 100 skincare videos on TikTok from girls as young as 7.
I'm going to do a morning routine. It is so good, I had to get another one.
Among the top 25 most viewed videos, investigators finding an average of 11 active ingredients that could irritate adolescent skin, including citric acid, salicylic acid, and glycolic acid. But the study, which relied on a small sample of 100 TikTok videos, only analyzed ingredients in the 25 most viewed products and doesn't provide a complete picture of what all users see on the app. Dermatologist and tween skincare expert Dr. Brooke Jeffy says most products made for adults aren't beneficial and can even damage sensitive tween skin.
Many of these skincare products deal with adult skin issues. So age-related changes like wrinkles, hyperpigmentation, and dullness to the skin, which kids don't have. So when they use these products, it can really be harmful to their skin barrier.
Only a quarter of the reviewed videos mentioning sunscreen, though the American Academy of Dermatology and the American Academy of Pediatrics recommend its use for all children over 6 months old. And with an average cost of $168 per regimen, pricey products also taking a hit on grown-ups' wallets.
The next time your teen or tween want to buy some expensive skincare, like a $80 serum, is better suited for somebody who's like 45. Think twice about it.
$170 for a 7-year-old skin regimen. Obviously, this is a really important conversation to have with your children, but as a consumer, remember the power that you have. Some brands have made a point of not marketing to kids, so do your research, spend money on the things you want to see more of. Vote with those dollars, Michael.
You said the power of the consumer, the power of the parent.
Yes.
Exactly.
I don't know a 7-year-old who's forking out $170.
I miss the days of Bonnie Bell. Life was so simple.
Dr. Pepper flavored.
Right, yeah.
about
That was like a big day at the beauty department.
Good old bar of soap and water. I remember those days. All right, time for pop
yes,
news.
and we have
Lara,
a lot
what you
to
got?
talk about, so thank you very much, and good morning to you all. We're going to begin with a moment we're so excited about every single year. Today's the day, our announcement for the GMA Summer Concert Series. We have music legends, we have genres from pop to country, and yes, all the right stuff. It's time, America.
Don't stop the party.
The official kickoff to summer starts now with the GMA Summer Concert Series. Your mornings have never rocked out like this. We're taking it step by step. Ooh, baby, really want you in my world. New Kids on the Block are taking over.
Let's do this. Because I was thinking that a little white tank top sitting right there.
Dierks Bentley is in the house.
Can't wait to see you.
Just bear with me. You gotta bear with me.
Then the Rose from Harlem, Tiana Taylor, is here.
No pressure.
But don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start.
And Leve is starting her morning with us. Nothing says good morning like Good Charlotte. Then we're turning up the heat with Manuel Turizo.
See you very, very soon. Don't miss it. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I put on my jewelry just to go to the bodega.
And how about some Bia?
ASAP. I come from the Bay.
And everybody knows there's no limit to the fun with G-Eazy. And let the music move your feet. Because our stage is set for the legendary Gloria Estefan.
Can't wait to see you.
The Good Morning America Summer Concert Series is sponsored by Massage Envy. And again, our sponsor, making it all possible this year, Massage Envy. It's the place to go for amazing massages, a good stretch, great facials, and other results-driven services. You can trust your self-care routine to a team of skilled professionals and discover where better begins. So guys, scan the QR code on your screen right there to see our lineup again for our 2025 GMA Summer Concert Series on GoodMorningAmerica.com. Getting ready.
Our bookers have done it again with some great acts.
Great.
Yes.
So exciting. Hey, the Tonys happened yesterday, and we're going to bring everybody inside the room where it happened. The original cast of Hamilton reuniting at this year's Tony Awards. Creator and star Lin-Manuel Miranda leading the performance to celebrate his musical's 10th anniversary. How fantastic. Oscar nominee Cynthia Erivo, she hosted this year's Tonys, where the musical Maybe Happy Ending was the big winner, taking home 6 awards, including Best Direction of a Musical. Succession alum Sarah Snook won for leading actress in a play for The Picture of Dorian Gray, which was spectacular. She takes on 26 roles in it. She only gets to take home one Tony, but 26 roles. Nicole Scherzinger, she won for leading actress in a musical for Sunset Boulevard. That also won Best Revival. Congratulations, Nicole. She was so great when she came here to GMA. And one of the unofficial big winners of the night has to go to George Clooney and his hair. Finally getting back to its natural gray as George gave his final performance of Good Night and Good Luck just before the Tonys on Sunday afternoon. He did not take home a Tony for that terrific performance. That would go to Cole Escola, who beat out Clooney, becoming the first non-binary person to win lead actor in a play. Congratulations to all the winners. It was a star-studded night on Broadway. Also happening this morning, music news and a one-of-a-kind duet over the weekend. Bruce Springsteen took to the stage in the UK as part of his Land of Hope and Dreams tour, and he gave the crowd quite the thrill when he brought out his little special guest. Check it out. Can't Buy Me Love. Probably can't buy a ticket now either to Springsteen. The duo performing at Anfield Stadium in Liverpool. That marks McCartney's first time back on stage in his hometown since 2018. He joined Springsteen and the E Street Band. They performed, as you saw, Can't Buy Me Love, also Kansas City, and the crowd went wild. Springsteen is heading to Berlin now for his next leg on his tour. That happens later this week, George.
What a great surprise that was.
Yeah, really nice.
Deals and Steals. Tori is here with summer accessories to help you feel great this season, and they're all from small businesses.
Yes.
We're already in it.
Yeah, you and I are starting with a little hug for your hand from Grace and Abel. These are compression gloves, and it's great for a little soothing relief for sore fingers.
Yeah.
Helps with also swelling and pain. But what's perfect about them is because the tips of your fingers are free, you can still type and text and sew and knit and garden and kind of do all the things. Obviously, they come in a pair. We're wearing one here to show you how they look. The colors are fun, fabulous. We've got a variety of sizes, all slashed in half today. A pair is $11.50.
And easy to get on and off, but still got that tug.
Exactly. Still got that little nice hug.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on from your hands to your feet. This is Fit Kicks, and we have two different styles of their land to water shoes. So those you would just wear, you can wear those around the house, gardening, and errands. It's an easy on-off. People use them a lot in airports during a commute because you can slip them on and off easily. Also really great for high heel relief when you want to like swap out of shoes. And because they're ultra thin, they're really easy for travel because they don't take up any bulk in a bag or a suitcase. And then these right here are the ones that are part water sock, part water shoe. So you can go, so imagine kayaking, a walk on the beach, in any kind of rocky terrain where your feet might get wet. Those are going to dry quickly. It's a really great neoprene fabric. Got great traction on the bottom too. All of these, men and women, slashed in half, $15 to $20.
These would have come in handy when I was just in Key West.
I know, I'm a week late.
Yeah, no. Oprah's favorite things,
yes, these are a favorite on Oprah, Leah, and Luca, and they're all about the kind of the current hottest trends in jewelry, which right now are just fun initials. So we've got the bubble initials as well as their brand new, this is their Art Deco style initial, which is really great and fun. What I love about the bubble initials, either the minis or the large size, is that you get two different necklaces with them. So with the black like I'm wearing, you get the leather chain and then a little snake chain, so you can switch, get two looks in one. This you get a little ball chain and the blue cord. This is just like a lot of fun. This is all the rage right now, but only we have this at 50% off with the deal starting at $20.
That's quite a savings.
Yeah.
These bags are great when you're on the go.
These bags are great for on the go. I know Petula's a really big fan of Malibu Sky. And what's fabulous is that you've got so many different pockets. So you've got 3 front pockets right here. Then you also get a little back pocket right here. So phone, keys, cash, something important that you want to slip right back there. And then the strap allows you to wear it either crossbody, just throw it over your shoulder, throw it across your chest. A variety of ways to wear it. 62% off plus free shipping from Malibu Sky. And we've got 14 different colors, so even more than you see here.
Now, what sets these diamonds apart?
These are lab diamonds. So you've got incredible sparkle. Brad already inspected a lot of oohs and ahs, a lot of shine. I'll hop a pair off here to show you. So if you look up close, you see that's a lot of shine. I'm wearing a variety of them here, and you see there's like a lot of sparkle, a lot of shine.
Sure
There's so much shine, but you get the price of a lab diamond as opposed to a mined diamond. We've got a big variety of the earrings from 1 to 4 total carat weight. They all come in a 14 karat white gold basket, which you see that they're setted. And then we also have a big variety of the solitaires. Those are also a single carat, and then a big variety of shapes. So if you like round, cushion, princess, pear, we've got you covered. All slash and half from Maya J with free shipping.
Okay, I'm putting it back.
Yeah, don't worry, exactly. The security's here watching them. And then from L. Erickson, this is all French-inspired hair accessories. So we've got these right here. That's what, these are all hair ties. They're grab-and-go ponies. So different variety of styles. If you want it in a ball like that or in a little canister like this, great because they're non-creasing, so they're really, but good grip for all-day hold on your hair. Big assortment of also their acetate clips, which are pretty fabulous. We've got scrunchies. We've got the bows, the big bows and hairs. You see them everywhere this summer. No matter what you choose, you just get to elevate the look of your hair. You always have a good hair day. Slash and half. These start at $7.
And these are great because they don't pull out your hair like that.
Exactly.
All right, Tori, we have partnered with these companies on these great deals, and you can get them on our website, where you will also find bonus deals.
Of course.
This woman comes. Coming up, we got the Turn Back the Clock. Remember our first days here in Times Square?
Fun.
Yeah, you do.
Good memories.
You'll remember too. Come on back. Oh, the last week.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
And welcome back, everybody. You know, forgive us if we get a little sentimental this week. Because we're saying goodbye to this studio that has been home to GMA for nearly 26 years. This time next week, we'll be saying Good Morning America from our new studio. And as we count down to the first day there, we want to look back at our first days here in Times Square.
We welcome you to our new home, New York City's Times Square. And I'm Charles Gibson.
And I'm Diane Sawyer. Glad to have all of you with us for our housewarming week.
From that very first day in Times Square, I just remember thinking, I'm a little girl from Mississippi and I'm working in Times Square. It's just so majestic.
Serena Williams joins us now along with ABC's Robin Roberts.
Serena Williams, she just wins the U.S. Open. Our studio is brand spanking new, and she comes in and she talks with us, and she had a little dog. I think dog's name was like Jackie. The Jackie's all like up in my face.
Great, with a little
Thank you. But I just remember just the energy and just looking around going, this is our home? And all these years later, it still feels that way.
To some of our earliest appearances.
Good to see you. Good morning.
Earthquakes and barricades. I mean, it's so long ago that I can't even imagine what it must have been. Well, they're not happy at all.
I was still at WABC, the local affiliate, and Diane Sawyer called me and asked me to start doing pieces for Good Morning America. It's not just about the wrapping, the taping, the tying. This is serious business. And then they put me in the studio and they tell me to do this segment on gift wrapping, which I am terrible at, but I didn't want to say no. This was the moment, right? So I, followed my mom's mantra, fake it till you make it, baby. And the rest is history.
I have 2 words for you, gift bag.
The thing I think that made the biggest difference was the impact of the outside, becoming a part of Times Square.
And Times Square is waking up to a beautiful morning.
We took over Times Square. It was amazing.
The GMA weather team just grew by 1.
I'm working with Sam Champion. Are you kidding me?
My first time in Times Square coming to this studio was magical. I mean, truly, I pulled up and the stoplight on 44th, I just remember looking up and thinking, this cannot be my life.
Michael.
The bright lights, the personalities, the energy, how intimidated I was when I walked through the door. A lot of thoughts were going through my mind. In the moments, we made it official.
Come on now.
No, be quiet. No.
It is great to have you full time with us. It does feel like the first day of school around here, doesn't it?
Yeah, the only thing I'm missing is my Spider-Man lunchbox. It felt overwhelming. Those are the first thoughts. How overwhelming is this that I'm a part of this?
I'm George Stephanopoulos.
Well, it's a dawn of a new day, a new GMA co-anchor.
And it is great to be here.
That's my first day anchoring GMA as permanent anchor. I think it's December 2009, and as you can tell, boy, I'm not nervous at all. Sitting up straight like that, I'm all ready to go, raring to go, and I even got a little gift that morning. I think one of my first interviews was with David Axelrod, who was working in the White House at the time for President Obama. They sent me a big alarm clock for my first day.
Your friends in the White House have chipped in to get you this gift. It's an alarm clock. It's permanently set for 3:30 in the morning.
I am a little turned around. I need to get to Times Square, to the studio.
Oh, Times Square. Times Square is that way.
Coming back in 2011 was like, I know this sounds so cliche, but it really was like coming home.
Oh, we're back.
I know. I did you. Are you wearing the galoshes, Ginger Zee?
I have them, and I'm so humbled to be here to join the greatest team in America.
I am this woman who grew up on a small farm, like rural Michigan, suburban at best in some places, and to be working and that this was going to be my, temporary home really meant something to me.
This is Good Morning America with Charles Gibson, Diane Sawyer, and Robin Roberts.
Oh?
And who? And who?
Times Square, the crossroads of the entire world. And this is where our studio is. We call this home base, so I finally made it home. It never gets old to say Good Morning America.
Oh, man. I have to sit up again.
That's been one of the biggest changes.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
I'm so glad that I came here where my style
You didn't have
was
the
pretty
90s
much
hair.
set. Yeah, that was great. That was good. I'm literally
glad we
crying
provided you
tears
with-
of laughter.
You actually got out of your seat when you saw Larry's first appearance.
I lost it. I lost it.
I know, it's priceless.
It was in style.
The 90s are back. You could bring it back.
Is your gift wrapping better now? Has it improved?
Absolutely not. Still a fan of the gift bag.
I tell you, that was a fun look back. George, you sitting up straight. I'm not nervous.
I love your bangs.
Every move we make is captured on film.
Yeah, the 90s bangs.
But it really doesn't. This is our home. I mean, we are here all the time. We treat it. We're like, oh hi. It's like going past your brother or sister's bedroom. Hey George. Hey Robin. Michael. I'm gonna miss it so much.
Yeah. Sure will.
I'm going to miss watching the night before cleanup in Times Square on the Friday.
Oh, that's it. That's true. Not going to miss that too. But also, when you think about Eddie, you think about Gary, you think about the crew. I mean, you saw us on camera, but behind
They've
the
all
scenes,
been here.
they've been here. They've been here as well.
They're the reason Eddie's behind the camera, though. I mean, they're the reason.
That laugh you
He also had 90s hair.
I love you, Gary. You too, bud. You too.
He's going to bring that humor downtown. Don't worry, it's not going to be staying here.
The bottom line is everybody here's a family.
Yeah.
And it shows on air because it's like that behind when we're off, when
Now can we
cameras aren't
retire
rolling.
that video?
Yep.
Turning to the issue of loneliness. According to the CDC, about a third of adults in the U.S. report feeling lonely. It's being called the loneliness epidemic. And licensed psychotherapist Candace Washington joins us to talk about what we can do. I have been looking forward to this. Petula on my team just sings your praises, and it's so important, and it's timely that we talk about this as well. These are staggering numbers, so tell us what's behind them.
Yes, you just mentioned that 1 in 3 adults experience loneliness, and the CDC also reports that 1 in 4 adults reports having a lack of social and emotional support. And you think about the world that we live in right now. We live in a very digitally charged society where we're texting, where we're sending voice messages, where we are FaceTiming, and the lack of one-on-one face interactions have significantly decreased. And loneliness looks different for everybody. There's several types of loneliness. You can have collective loneliness, the sense of wanting to belong to something that seems meaningful to you. You can have relative loneliness when it comes to wanting to relate to others, having social support. And then you can have loneliness when it comes to being partnered, having a partner. So there's different types of loneliness, and that's why you can be in a room filled with thousands of people and still experience loneliness.
I'm glad that we're explaining it like this and showing it like this, because it's like an iceberg. There's just so many different levels to it. This is Men's Health Month.
Yes.
Awareness Month, and really focusing on mental health.
Yes.
So when it comes to loneliness and mental health and all that, what is the difference between men and women? How do we address it?
So the National Alliance on Mental Illness reports that 45.9% of men seek help, seek support. So you think about the opposite of that, the 54.1% of men who are not seeking help. And it has a lot of different layers to it. One of them is societal pressures, how we see men, how we see masculinity, showing vulnerability and emotion as a sign of weakness instead of strength, saying that it's okay not to be okay, and it's not a reflection of your masculinity. So we have to foster these conversations, and they have to go well beyond just this month. I'm a mom of 2 amazing boys. One is 17 and one is 6, and teaching them early the significance of emotional intelligence, because when they're self-aware, then they manage their relationships better. And one day, if they, decide to choose, they will be husbands, they will be fathers. And the world thinks that when we express ourselves, that is a sign of weakness when it comes to men, and it's not. So when you think about that, you create compassion, connection, care, and relational intimacy. And relational intimacy, when you break down that word intimacy, Robin, is into me you see. Our men want to be seen and heard and valued. And clinically in my practice, I work with a lot of men in this population. And they express to me, if I put language on what it is that I'm experiencing, I don't want those around me to see me as weak or inferior or less than. But men cry, men feel, men experience depression and anxiety. So we have to change the narrative around this to say, hey, I need me too. And men need themselves as well.
I'm so glad that we're talking about this, Candace.
Yes.
So what are some of the early warning signs?
Yes, so bed rotting is one. Sitting in the bed all day. Doom scrolling.
Oh, yeah.
Doom scrolling is another one. Declining social activities and events. Irritability, annoyances, change in behavior such as mood swings. When you start to see those signs, that's an indicator, let me ask the right questions. Because sometimes we'll ask the question and the person on the other side, they'll start to share. And I think we've all done this, where we'll send a text message and we get down to the end of that paragraph and then we'll erase it all and just say, I'm okay, I'm fine. But no, it's okay to say, I'm not fine, I need support. And it's not a reflection of who you are, but it's a reflection of who you are as a human being.
And you talk about support. I see your proud mom over there.
Yes.
Your mama's over here because you're here on GMA. So just talk about the need for having a support group around you.
It is so important. We're not created to do life alone. We're not created to do life alone. It is so important to have those around you that really see you. Like I said, that intimacy, into me you see, to be seen, to be heard, and really to foster conversations around the support that you need. So being able to put language on what it is that you need, and knowing that it's not a reflection of me. I tell men and women this all the time, take the cape off. Take the cape off. Superman and Superwoman is a fallacy. Someone in their studio said, I'm just going to draw this character and put it out into the world. So now I take my cape off and I wrap myself in it as a blanket to rest, and knowing that rest is productive too. But I need that support system to say, this is what I cannot do today, and I delegate. So letting people know that it's okay to have support, and it's okay to put language on it and say, I need help.
We are going to have you back here. It's going to be in our new studio, but we're going to have you back. Thank you. This is such a vital discussion. Your mom is high-fiving over there with our crew. I know that your 2 sons have to be so proud.
They are.
And thank you for having this very necessary conversation,
Thank you for
Candace.
having me.
Okay, you'll be back. And if you or someone you know struggling with mental health issues or thoughts or perhaps suicide, call or text the National Lifeline at 988-988.
Coming up, Lori V is here with the hair products we've all seen on social media. We're going to find out, are they worth the hype? Stay with us on GMA. We're going over here, everybody. We're back with our series as seen on social media. GMA lifestyle contributor Lori Bergamato is here now, bringing us hair care products that have gone viral. And we're going to find out what the hype is all about. And everything you see is shoppable because you have done all the work for us.
Yeah,
and I want to start with this comb because everybody is talking about it.
Truly, everybody's talking about it. It has nearly 100,000 likes, you guys. So this is a dandruff comb. You can use it to glide through your scalp.
Oh, I'm just looking at that video.
It's very satisfying. So it works on thick hair, thin hair.
It definitely works based on the video.
Yeah, so it glides through. It takes out anything in your scalp, right? And then you press this little button over here, Lara.
You know what? If you have kids that go to camp
exactly, for anything that might be in their scalp, you just press that button, everything comes out. It's only $6 on Amazon. So
no, and I looked it up. You were telling me how the rave reviews are
it's
amazing.
Insane, and people are obsessed with it. And that's one of the things about these segments is that we really are going and looking and reading the comments and seeing who's sharing it. And this one
gives you guys
gold
get
stars.
Thumbs
Yes.
up. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
So this is like for that mermaid kind of beachy wave that everybody likes, including myself.
I was like, very on trend for both of us.
It's hard to do. Thank gosh we have the Glam Squad.
Yes.
But this is a product that you say is actually really easy to do at home.
Exactly. So one of the reasons that this has nearly 160,000 likes and shares is because people are saying it's really user friendly. So if you don't have a Glam Squad like we do, we're lucky enough to have here, and you're just using a regular curling iron, it can be tricky to navigate and know where do I put my hand, how long do I leave it there?
Which way do I go?
Do I go away from my head or
what? Marks.
Exactly.
It's hard.
So what people are saying about this mermaid hair, this is the M Waver, Pro Waver.
May I pick it up?
Yo, please do.
Okay.
You can see it has a triple barrel. So it's one tool,
so you pick it up.
triple barrel, you put your hair in there, you're seeing it
look how
on
pretty it looks with those videos.
Gorgeous.
And you just put your hair in it.
And you put your hair in it, and then 2 seconds, and then you release it down, and you see how they do it. And what people love about it is they say it's really fast.
That is actually pretty easy to
It's really easy to maneuver. So we found that at Revolve, and also they say it lasts for days, which is a really cool thing.
Well, and this next product can
I was just going to say,
do
perfect
that nice
segue.
transition.
Exactly. Perfect segue is to the Sleepy Tie, which we found at Ulta. This thing is something.
Am I allowed to pick up?
Please pick up everything, play, go right ahead. So what's great about this is if you spend a lot of time on your hair, blowing it dry or doing
or getting someone to give you a great style, you want it to last.
Exactly. You've invested the money or you've invested the time, right? How do you protect that investment? With the Sleepy Tie? So all you're going to do, you can see in this picture in the video here, you're going to put it up in a bun and you're going to wrap this scrunchy part right around it.
Okay.
And that's going to protect it from any of those like flat holes or creases.
Oh, so this is separate from this
Yes.
thing.
And then you're able
does this
to
go
wrap
in the front
around.
or the back?
That goes in the back.
Okay.
And then you're able to wrap it around, sleep on it, or if you're just like walking around during the day running errands, you want a cute little bun, it's just a top knot, but it will keep it protected without any damage to your blow dry. Yeah, it gives it that volume. So that you know how sometimes it gets like really flat and then it's bouncy here? Yeah. This gives you volume all around.
I love
so
that.
pick that up from Ulta.
Great. And we've got that QR because I'm ordering it.
This one is, people were like socks for your hair.
Including myself.
So these are socks for your feet, but the brilliance of TikTok is everyone's showing their cool hacks.
Oh, wow.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna take the 2 socks, you're gonna separate, wrap them around, and then just like when you fold laundry and you do one of those, right? You're gonna do that to your hair. So you can see how she folds it all the way up. You sleep on it, and then the next day, people are coming out with this beautiful waved hair.
Without heat.
Without any heat. So it's heatless. It's really effortless because you just do it. It takes 20 seconds.
What is it about this sock that you thought it was a good choice?
It's just a fuzzy sock and it's really well reviewed on Amazon.
Okay, so great ideas. All right, wonderful. We've got the QR code for you guys. All of these products are shoppable. Just go to the code on your screen or our website, goodmorningamerica.com. Thanks, Lori.
Thank you.
Such good ideas.
Can y'all believe this is our last Monday here in Times Square?
We hope you have a great Monday.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.